What were we going about?
Nazis built the pyramids, the aliens started the Holocaust. It's just...
We're talking about serial killers today. They're ghosts.
It's only going to get worse from here. Oh, man. You know, I still can't get over the fucking burn that was given to me by a 6-year-old girl. Oh, my God. So, Sage knows this story, but guys, I'm going to tell you what happened. This is the best fucking burn I've ever had in my goddamn life.
It was pretty good.
And like I said,
so it was pretty good.
It was from a 6-year-old kid, man. I was just like, I was not expecting it. I was not ready for it. And when it happened, I was just floored. I was so fucking impressed by this joke. Because since my wreck, I have this scar above my eye, and yes, I do wear glasses. But I was sitting there chasing all the kids around. Yeah, I was chasing the kids around, playing with them and all that kind of stuff, and I got winded, so I was taking a break, and little girl comes in. She's like, come on, come get me. Come on, Harry Potter, come get me, chase me. I was like, you motherfucker. Like, what the fuck?
She's like, you got a scar and you wear glasses, don't you?
Yeah, I was just like, damn, and that was a fucking good burn. So
first time we've heard that one.
Yeah. Oh, man. But welcome, everybody, to The Calling Couple. I'm your host, Gage, along with my beautiful, lovely co-host,
Sage.
And today we're going to be talking about a few things. Real quick, we're going to do a recap right now because it's been a very fucking hot thing that's happened, and I promise you this is not going to go on for the rest of the episode, but just let us get it out. Episode 5 of Ahsoka. Holy shit.
I wanted this whole episode to be about Ahsoka, the show, because the first two episodes it came out with,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was so upset. Sorry, you couldn't hear me enough. I was so upset. I was like, oh my gosh, Rosario Dawson doesn't know how to act. I think we've mentioned that before, though.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, when we talked about it.
And then episode 5, whoa.
Yeah, episode 5 was fucking great. The whole episode could have been flashbacks for us. If that was the way it was going to be, I was happy with it. Cause,
they just need to take episode 5 and stretch it out and make it an entire movie because that was awesome.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, man. So, way to play with the fans of what we've been wanting without making it too unbearable. And it's funny, though, because right now I'm seeing all these posts on my pages that I'm on of people saying, well, why can't Rey get her recognition if Hayden can get her his? And it's like, fuck Rey. All right. We're not going to do this. All right. So episode 5 was fucking great. It actually brought the series back around to where it's enjoyable again. Ahsoka is actually, or Rosario Dawson's actually being a lot more like Ahsoka, which is fucking nice. She's a lot more playing with the character now instead of being so brooding and all this and that. So it's nice. It's pretty good. But
yeah, I think we're gonna get old Ahsoka now that she's come to terms with everything.
Yeah.
Now that she's Ahsoka the White.
Yeah, that has been the funniest joke.
Funniest running joke, and everyone's just like, that's perfect. Oh my god, yes.
Yeah. But today's episode is what we've already promised you that we would do 2 weeks ago, even though we were supposed to do it last week, and we totally fucking forgot about it until as soon as we sat down.
I thought it was just last week that we talked about this.
No, it was 2 weeks ago. We forgot about it until we just sat down to start recording. We were going to do a whole episode about Ahsoka and shit like that, but then I was like, no, we promised them that we would talk about some stories of work. So, Sage, I'm going to let you start off with some of the crazy shit you've been dealing with already.
I thought we were going to start with flashbacks.
Well, let's get them into what you deal with right now. While she's telling you stuff, I'm going to go grab me a drink because I forgot to grab one when I came sat down.
Well, I'm going to be out of coffee before this episode is over, so go ahead and grab me one too.
Okay.
So, I work at a casino now. And just right then and there, you can already tell that I'm going to have some crazy stories about some crazy people that come in there. So there's this, like, middle-aged man, and he's just, like, and you can tell, like, he's smoked his whole life because he's got, like, just one of those growly fucking, like, get some voices. And he's just, like, talking to the machine, telling them to get some, and all that kind of stuff. And he's just, like, pointing at the machine and all that kind of stuff. Then he's standing, he says he won't sit down. He's too excited to sit down, I guess, and all that. And then he steps back from the machine, does a little, like, steps on one foot and does a little twirl. and then looks at the machine and goes, "Fuck you," and then walks off. It was like so entertaining. I was like, just like 5 minutes of straight up, get some, yeah. And then the very end, just a step back, little twirl, fuck you. He just walks off. And I'm just like, what was that? I'm just trying to wipe the machines down, man.
Well, didn't he like fuck the machine up, or was that a different person? Didn't you tell me a story about a guy who fucking actually moved the whole goddamn machine?
Oh, that story. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that was my first fucking day. That was my first day there. He was, oh man. So much stuff happens every day at work, man. I just can't even like keep all the stories straight. But the first day there, and like they're giving me the rundown of how to work everything and how to check your aisles and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just, I'm off on my own. They kind of released me like a flightless baby bird, and they said, "Okay, go about your business. Go. I'm like, okay, I got this. So I got my little raggy rag in my hand and my little squirty bottle in the other hand, and I'm just like going up and down these aisles. And I'm like, I got this. This is a pretty easy fucking job. And it is. It's a really fucking easy job. So I'm wiping the machines down and all that kind of stuff. And this one guy is just like holding both sides of this machine. And he's just like so mad. And he's not screaming or nothing, but you can just tell he's just, I'm so stupid. My money. And all that. And he just starts. And I'm just like watching him all that. Because, I'm fresh from the orientation classes, so I'm Hawkeyeing it everywhere. I'm just like watching everybody like a fucking eagle, man. And because that's what they want you to do. After a while, I guess you quit caring because no one else cared. Like I saw my other fellow employees just walking by this guy like, "I don't give a fuck. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. I don't care." Like it doesn't help my job none.
Yeah.
So, but of course I'm fresh. This is my first day, so I'm watching him like, oh my gosh, do I need to turn this in? Do I need to go get a security guard and stuff? And sure enough, I did need to go get a security guard because he starts shaking the whole damn machine and freaking rips it off of its stand thing.
Yeah, because these things are bolted down.
Yeah, they're
so
bolted
heavy.
down, people. These machines are bolted down, and he just is shaking it so hard it just snaps one of the bolts on the corner, and then he just like rocks it forward until it's like, because the things that it's bolted down onto are probably like 1.5 feet off the ground, so if the machine comes down, it's coming down on top of you.
Yeah.
And it's heavy. It's a fucking heavy machine.
They're almost a ton.
So that scared the shit out of me. So I'm like booking it for a security guard. But I'm not booking it because you're not allowed to run in casinos.
Yeah, don't do that.
You can't run in casinos.
No. That caused mass panic.
Yes. That's exactly why. You can't. So I'm just like, quick jogging. I have my hands down so it doesn't look like I'm going fast or anything. So I get a security guard and I'm like, this guy just pulled a machine off of its thing, and he goes, "The machines are bolted down." I'm like, I know.
And they walk over and they're just
like,
Carl.
No, he was gone, man. As soon as that thing came off the bolts, he bolted. So I guess they can look back on like security camera, and whichever guy's running, that's him. That's the guy that did it. Oh, they came over there, and like the techs are just touching the machine, like, how the fuck did somebody do this?
This is that super humor crack straight.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
the security guard though, like, didn't fucking bat an eye. He's like, I've seen this. I see this all the time. But the tech guys are like, how the fuck did he do this?
He's over there in the corner with the cigar, just like, this is a normal day, and everybody else is just like, oh my god.
This is the security guard that is gonna be in a lot of my stories. For some reason, we always get set up in the same areas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an older gentleman. He's so funny. Like, he acts like he be your grandpa. He's always playing tricks, like the whole walking behind you and tapping your one shoulder and then going to the other side of you and all that. That's his favorite one.
So that's how I am at work. I am that guy. Yeah. I like doing that shit.
Yes, he's a big old prankster, and he's everybody's favorite old man. But he's seen it all, man. He's worked there probably since the casino was built.
But back in 1888.
I bet. Because he cracks me up. He's a pretty good guy. So in all my stories, he's going to be a security guard because he's literally the one that's always there. He's like, what's going on today?
Well, and so like we had talked about that we were going to do this before. And the thing is I think we mentioned it, but I'm not sure. But me and you actually met working together.
Yeah, that's how we met, is work.
And we fucking hated each other.
It's our kids' favorite fucking story.
Yeah. So we met working together at Pizza Hut. And
at Pizza Hut. We were pizza sluts, everybody. That's what we call each other back then.
And she had just been rehired. I had worked there, quit, and I just got rehired. But I was running a lot of the shit when I was there before.
I didn't know
so.
he was a rehire, by the way. That's going to explain a lot of my attitude in this situation.
Yeah, and so fucking, I'm sitting here getting things done, bossing people around because the manager
I got
knew
rehired first. Okay, I got rehired first. Okay, so let me explain this. Let me explain to you. I've been there for a couple weeks. I've been back for a couple weeks, and then he comes in the door, and it's his first day back. Well, I thought it was his first fucking day, period. You know, and he just comes in all hot and fucking. Yeah, Boston Pete, not that kind of hot. I mean, yeah, that kind of hot, but I was like, I have a boyfriend. I can't think he's hot. I hate him so much.
But it was funny, though, because, like, yeah, you hated me because I was sitting there bossing people around, trying to get shit done and all this and that. And yeah, I was. I mean,
he was a douchebag, everybody.
I was high all the time, too, so I had an attitude. I mean, it was bad.
Thought your shit didn't stink?
Yeah. But we ended up getting put on the prep station together, and you brought your fucking Apple.
Before that.
No.
Fine.
No, we don't need to go there. But like we get put together, and now you're like fucking. I don't want to have anything to do with you. I just want to get my shift over now.
I just want to get the fuck out of here because I don't want to work at this.
And I'm sitting here just high off my ass, just like do, like yeah. And trust me, people, in fast food, everybody in the back. 98% of them are high as shit. Okay, so
that's
just
why the music's so loud.
Yeah, but she's jamming out to her iHome and her iPod and shit.
Yeah, because I'm normally in the back by myself with like the cut table person, which I thought like, okay, he's gonna be on cut table, I guess, so I won't have to work with him too much. And so I was just listening to my jams, having a little jammy jam session, cooking pizza, and then this motherfucker thought he'd be helpful and come over and get up all in my business and work on the cut table with me.
The prep table.
Yeah, prep table, my bad.
Yeah, but even still. So you're jamming out to music, and I'm sitting there just like, okay, how can I break the ice to at least make this a little bit more fun to enjoy our day? And
I was like, man, this bitch fucking hates me.
Yeah, and I knew it. I knew you didn't like me and shit. And then fucking, you started playing your music, and I was sitting there just jamming out like, oh man, you like these guys, you like that guy, and all this.
He's like naming these songs and naming the bands and singing some of the lyrics. And I'm just like. You know my music?
Yeah, and this was a lot of like My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boy and shit.
I was an emo girl.
Yeah, and I mean, I was at heart. I was never allowed to dress like that because my family was so against it. Yeah,
he was an emo girl at heart, and he couldn't dress like that.
Yep, Sam, right. So I was just like, hey, can I see what songs you have and all? And you're like, okay, because you were very shy and timid. You're not like how you are now.
No, I'm not like that. I wasn't like this at all. No.
And fucking, so I started scrolling through it, and then all of a sudden we just started talking and shit, and next thing we know, things started getting hot and heavy, and
just gonna go in for it.
Yeah, and then I was like, you know what? No, she has a boyfriend. I'm not gonna be that kind of dude. I was a douchebag, I really was, but I wasn't that kind of guy that was gonna ruin somebody else's relationship.
Things had happened to you in the past, and you were like, I won't be that guy.
Yeah, because I just got cheated on and all this and that.
So you're
and
like,
I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
I'm not gonna be that guy.
So I showed up to work, and I was gonna tell you like, hey, you know, I know things are going places,
like
but I can't.
Cinema right there.
Yeah, and then as soon as I get up to you, you're like. We both at the same time was like, I got something to tell you. Yeah, and then I was like, fuck it, you go first. And I'm glad I did.
I'm glad I did.
Because you're like, well, me and my boyfriend broke up. So what'd you have to say?
Nothing. A goddamn thing. I didn't have to nothing. Ready to work? You ready to turn some fucking music on?
Yeah, let's do this. And that's kind of where it went from there. I mean, we just started getting closer and closer, and then, yeah. And we worked several jobs together. I mean, not just Pizza Hut. We worked at Taco Bell and stuff like that. And one of the funniest moments I got at Taco Bell is we were busy as fuck, right? Remember, it was a Saturday, and it was lunch rush, and all these people were coming in.
I hated working there, so I kind of blocked most of it out.
Well, I had worked off and on there for many years. And
yeah, you had a vibe there, though. I didn't, man. I was like, I was the odd one out, so I was like, oof.
It was my first job, and I worked there off and on. I got to know the owners and shit.
That's why I liked Pizza Hut so much.
Yeah, well, that was because the manager became your stepmom. So.
Yeah, that was weird. That's a whole nother story. Hey, by the way, I got a job. It was my first job ever. It was at Pizza Hut. And I was like, hey, you should meet my dad. Mistakes were made.
But so we were working at Taco Bell, and the lunch rush was coming through, and I mean, it's getting fucking slammed. The lobby's going, the drive-thru's going, it's getting crazy. I'm running you're running KFC side, I'm running the Taco Bell side.
I ran the drive-thru window. That's the only thing I ever ran.
No, you did KFC for a little bit, because I remember you had a hard time with like what. Okay, and that's when you were like, I fucking hate this job.
I just ran the cash registers. I never cooked. I mean, I never made food.
No, you did. I know you did. Okay, so back to this. We are fucking busy as shit. And I'm reading the screen, and everybody's getting frustrated. So I was like, okay, I've got to fucking lighten the mood a little bit. And I stopped working, and I'm just staring at the screen.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just staring for like 5 fucking minutes, not making a goddamn thing. And my boss looks over at me, and she goes, hey, what are you doing? And why are you just staring at the screen? And I was just like, I can't read. And it just floored everybody. Everybody started laughing like, okay. Then we got back to busting our ass and getting things done. But I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those like,
by the way, that is a joke from something.
Yes, it is from ASDF. And
yeah, we were obsessed with it at the time.
Yes, but like, I'm one of those guys that likes to lighten the mood a little bit, and even if it's at my own expense, to fucking get everybody to have a better work morale, because I've always been a firm believer. If everybody's in a good mood, work's going to go smoothly. If someone's pissed off, it's going to be bad.
You're like him.
By who?
You.
What?
Yeah.
When?
We won't get into it.
When is now going to be now? Now. But yeah, that was one of our moments together. And then, of course, we were just like, we really can't work together because it was getting a little too lovey-dovey a lot. And this is back when we were first together.
Bro.
Yeah,
we were fresh.
When we were first together and shit. Now it's like we could work together and we could scream at each other and it'd be like, okay, whatever, fucking, let's go to bed. But yeah, I did that shit all the time. Then I got on at the factory for years, and I pulled pranks all the fucking time up there. The best one is like, if you guys have never worked construction or assembly or anything like that, the best ones that is always done is like, hey, I need a drywall stretcher, or I need a panel stretcher, a pipe stretcher. If you fall for that, that just shows that you've never done this shit before, because, oh my god, I used to do, me and some buddies used to do that shit to people all the time when I worked at the assembly plant, where a new hire would come on and he couldn't read a tape measure to save his fucking life. So we'd be like, granted, I was like 21, 22 when I was doing all this shit to people. And I'd be like, yeah, hey, can you go up to assembly? Like, this fabrication, need you to go up to assembly and grab a panel stretcher so we can get this thing fixed so we don't have to recut it. Okay. There was one night, a guy was gone for 2 fucking hours looking for this shit, and the
whole factory probably had him going to like, no, that's down in that section. Oh no, you have to go ask so and so.
Oh yeah, no. Everybody was in on it because the fucking manager comes up. He was stationed with me for me to train him, and I did that shit to him. And he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, where the fuck is your trainee?" I was like, "Oh, he's off looking for a panel stretcher." And my boss just looks at me like, "Fucking again,
doing this
like again, dude." And I'm like, "Yeah, again." He's like, "How long has he been looking?" I was like, "Oh, at least 2 hours now." And he's like, "Are you fucking serious? Where is he at?" And I'm like, "I don't know, up in assembly."
Probably in assembly by now.
And fucking, he goes up to assembly, couldn't find him. The fucking dude got sent over to shipping, fucking couldn't find it in shipping. Finally, when he finds him, he was like, he fucking brings it back over to me, and he's like, "Don't listen to anything this motherfucker says. Now train him right." And I'm like, okay.
You just told him not to listen.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, Jim, I'll do that, Jim, no problem. But I used to do that shit all the time just to fuck with people, just to have a good time. And some people got butthurt, they did, and I'm just like, pussies, like, take a joke. Don't think I hadn't had that shit happen to me too. So it's just a rite of passage in some of these jobs. Now, you remember Stumpy, right?
Yeah. Okay,
so Stumpy was a coworker of mine that used to hang out with me all the time, and he was the one that got me into TikTok, and he was challenging me of like, oh, well, I've got more followers than you, all this and that. I never had a TikTok, never cared to do a TikTok, all this and that. So I was like, fuck it, bet, let's do it. Within 2 months, I had 8,000 followers, and he's just like, what the fuck, man? I'm posting as much content as you are, all this and that. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just doing it. So, but me and him used to have so much fun at work when it would come down to pulling jokes and pranks on each other. Stumpy, we called him Stumpy because he was very short, very big, or very short, big, fat dude. and nothing mean towards them, but we worked on this deal on this machine where we had to use a crane to pick up rolls of metal and put it on our machine to load it up and all this and that. Well, like I said, he's like 5'3", 5'4". I'm 6'1". So I thought it'd be hysterical because I would make him run the crane while I ran the machine. And I was like, okay, he leaves to go to the bathroom. And I was like, all right, now I'm going to fuck with him. I took the crane remote, hooked it to the crane, and raised it up to where I could barely reach it. And fucking, it's like, hey man, we need this roll loaded up. And he goes down there and he's just like, are you fucking serious, dude? He's like, where's the step stool? I was like, oh, yeah, another department came and borrowed it. And he's like, are you fucking... I've still got a picture of him staring at the fucking deal trying to get it down. Because I'm like, get it, man. Like, we need to get this shit done.
That's so funny.
Oh, dude, I did that shit to him all the fucking time. And it was just fun. It was good, harmless fun at work. And I hate how managers get so mad about that. And I'm like, dude, if it's like 5 minutes of the day of just having a good joke, good laugh, let them have that. Now, if it's cutting into like hours and hours and hours and hours of fucking fun, okay. But man, that factory, they were so strict about if you were having fun. Like, I got wrote up so many times for just joking around. It was ridiculous. So, have you had any crackheads? Like a lot, or any more good crackheads that have came through?
I was going to say, are you about to ask me if I've had crackheads come through there? Because yes. Probably about 5 to 10 every morning. I'm like, why are you guys here? It's too early for you guys to be here. Because I show up to work at 7 a.m. And they're already there waiting. Like, they're ready. Like you said, like casinos don't close. So, they're already in there. So, when I get there, I'm morning shift. And, shoot, which one am I going to do? I have too many crackhead stories. So I'm just like, oh, I'll just go with this most simplest one. The guy who kept falling asleep on the machines and all that. Like, you can't fall asleep at a casino. Okay, we'll start off with that. And we have to turn them in immediately. Yeah. If we see this shit. Well, I'm new, so I was like sympathetic. You lose that really fast. You lose the sympathy really fast around here. So I was like, oh, he's not really hurting anything, you know. He's not doing anything wrong. So I'm just gonna let him. I'm just gonna let him like walk around and sit down and fall asleep, you know. Then he started getting like about 2 hours into this whole charade of going into a machine, pushing a few buttons, sitting down, and then slowly kind of nodding off, like leaning off to the side a little bit, slowly falling asleep. And then jerking back awake, standing up, going and starting up, you know, go to another machine. Well, eventually, he starts using his phone as cover of why he's not playing the game. And ever since then, I have noticed that a lot of the people will do that. They'll just sit at machines and stare at their phone for a long time. And I realize they're not looking at their phone. They're falling asleep, or they're not asleep. They're under the influence, and not of alcohol. Also, because of my position, I clean the bathrooms, and so that's fun, too, because that's where they do it at.
Yeah, I can definitely contest to some of those crackhead stories. Like, so, folks, you got to understand, I am a jack of all trades because I've had so many fucking different styles of jobs. It's unreal. Like, if I was to actually fill out a resume, I probably had at least 80 jobs in the last 15 years. And it's fucking great because, like, I was a bus driver for a little bit, for a few months. Like, I could barely... And
there was more training than there was actual job.
Yeah, not a school bus driver, because I can't deal with other people's kids. Like, no thanks. And, like, I love kids, I do, but I don't like the way some of them act and are raised and shit, and it just drives me up the wall.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
nah. If you had, like, responsibility for the children... You would be one of those bus drivers that all the kids were scared of. And you can get in trouble for that these days. Yeah.
But, like, so I would drive for the Metro in Oklahoma City, and I would, man, it's so funny seeing these crackheads, man. They are on it. They know every fucking route. They know every driver. If you're a new driver, they are going to try to pull shit on you so fast. And people would tell me that all the time during my training and whenever I was about to be released on my own. they would be like, don't take shit from no one. You're the driver of the bus. You fucking run that shit. And I did. I had so many people try to fucking scam me and pull one over on me and shit. Now, I would let some of it go here and there, but if it was a continuous thing, I'd be like, nah, fuck that. Now, I had one dude. This dude was tweaked out of his mind every time. And he was a guy that rode the bus regularly. He would go, because the homeless shelters give you a day pass. They give you a free day pass for you to go ride around to get to your places for your doctor's appointments, shit like that for the homeless. Well, this dude would take that for granted and just get on the buses and start doing sermons. And not good sermons, not of like where you could get people rallied behind you, but talk about inappropriately touching children and all this and that. Like, there was one time he almost got his ass whooped by a father who had his daughter with him on the bus, and he starts calling her out, saying like, oh, has your father ever done this to you, all this and that. And I'm sitting here like, dude, I'm not going to save you. I'm going to let him beat the living shit out of you. And there was a...
You're probably like, go ahead, man. I won't even call the cops.
Oh, yeah. No, like, I've
don't ever put fucking child on the spot like that. Jesus.
Well, see, like, I'm one of those people, I give you one warning. And that's it. Like, I'm going to give you the one warning to either fucking stop or I'm going to intervene. Well, I'd given him this one warning of like, look, man, you can ride the bus, but no more getting up here preaching and stuff. Like, that's not what people are here for. That's not what you're going to be doing here. This is a bus, not a church. So if you can do that, you can ride. That time, he was great. He had no issues. Next time, he gets on the bus, starts it off.
You gotta give him the lecture every time.
Yeah, and so he started doing that, and I fucking straight up stopped the bus. He didn't recognize
you. Oh, he was like, oh shit, this is that.
No, because as soon as he got on the bus, I was like, we good today? He's like, yep. And then we started going. We left the station. We got maybe half a mile down the road, and then he got up there and started doing it all, and I was like, okay. So I inconvenienced everybody. I stopped the bus right there on the side of the road, and I was like, get off. I was like, this bus is not moving until you get off. And I had 3 dudes stand up like, you're getting the fuck off this bus. I gotta go.
Like, we have work to go to. You gotta get the fucking bus.
And so he fucking got off, and he had a half a block to walk to get to the homeless shelter. God. But I was like, I ain't fucking doing it, and I didn't. He never got on my bus again, and I ended up quitting. But man, it's fucking dangerous being a bus driver, man. I did not realize how dangerous it is. People have no concern for their safety. They like to walk in front of and bus. I've had people walk in front of my bus while it's going down the road, expecting me to stop like I can on a dime. Like, no.
Yeah, your heavy ass bus can stop on a dime. Sure enough.
There was one horror story I had right before I quit. Not of me, but another driver. It was a Saturday night, and the bus station's right down by the Ford Cox Center, where the OKC Thunder plays. I mean, it's right there by it. Mm-hmm. And so it gets busy as fuck during game nights. Like, you really have to take your time getting through there because you got all these people running across the street and shit. And there was a game going on, and this guy was right there at the corner of the bus station, about ready to turn to pull in to get in there. And this dude on a bicycle, standing at the corner, was on his phone, wasn't paying attention. The bus driver had the green. He didn't have the crosswalk. Well, the guy walked right in front of him, and he ran him over and killed him.
Jeez.
And keep in mind, people, these buses, they lower to the ground, but they're not that far off the ground when they're raised up. You maybe got 8 inches of clearance, and when you lower them down, you get 4. So there's not a lot of room. And if you get caught up underneath one of them, you're done.
Yeah, you're mushed.
There is nothing anybody can do.
Yeah, everything in your body is crushed.
Yes, and yeah, he saw him. And on these buses, you get anywhere from 9 to 11 cameras on these buses. So they see everything that goes on. Mm-hmm. You are recorded nonstop when you're inside these things. And they tried to say the driver failed to do his job when actually the cameras prove that he did his job. He saw the guy there, and he waited even when the light turned green to see what the guy was going to do. He stayed there, so he started moving. That's when the guy decided, okay, and just walked right out in front of him. And I mean, it sucks that he lost his life for that, but when you're out and about, guys, put the phones down. Like,
also, people who are out there trying to collect on insurance and all that.
Yeah.
Just know you ain't surviving that to collect the damn insurance.
And if you do, you're going to be more fucked up in the rest of your life than you would just saying, it's not worth it, because it's not. It's really not. I've had so many people pull out in front of me in their cars and all this and that. And I used to get in trouble the little bit of time I was there because a lot of times I wouldn't slam on my brakes. One, passengers don't have seatbelts, so I'm throwing passengers if I do. Two, I was probably just going to fucking hit you because if you were willing to cut out in front of me, you played with your life. I didn't play with mine. So that's the way I looked at it. And that's the way I still look at it. Like,
it's like everyone on the bus is surviving this. It's you that's not.
Yeah, I mean, I feel sorry for if you got anybody else in that car with you, but you made that choice to get out in front of me. I'm going to take you out. So, guys, don't play with fucking big rigs. Buses, garbage trucks, semis. Don't play with any of them. Don't cut them off. Don't do any of that because they're probably going to sit there and just be like me of like, well, fuck, you did it. Like, but a lot of times you're putting yourself in danger because they're not expecting you to do anything that rash. So don't do it. Just put the phone down, pay attention, and just give yourself a few extra seconds before you try to go and play with your life against a vehicle that can't stop. These vehicles do not stop on a dime like a car. So just keep that in mind. Man, what other jobs have you worked at?
We've worked at Groves before.
Yeah, we did work at a weed farm for a little bit, and that was fun. I mean, it was
a pretty fun job.
Yeah, it was very laid back.
Yeah, I was like, it was a laid back job.
Laid back as fuck. I was sitting there testing out all the products and all that kind of shit. Like, it was very laid back.
We were totally fucked come tax season. Then.
Oh my god, yeah, guys.
If you don't know what a 1099 is, you look that shit up. You prepare yourself.
Yeah, because you need to actually put money aside every paycheck to pay for those taxes.
You gotta pay your own taxes. Like, literally, like, you're like, well, we always pay our own taxes. It comes out of your paycheck. A 1099, it does not come out of your paycheck. You have to physically, on your own time, go and pay your taxes.
Yep.
Like the government's not gonna do it for you through your paycheck. You gotta go do it. And yeah, I know that sounds like obvious from people out there who know what a 1099 is, but for those people who have never had a 1099 before, and they only done W-4s their whole life. Yeah, that shit gonna sneak up on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you're sitting here like, oh, I can't wait to get taxes back. Nah,
you ain't getting shit back. You actually owe $4,000.
Yeah, you'll be paying in on that shit. So, 1099 jobs aren't bad if you got other income coming in, but don't make that your primary. If you do, fucking just be responsible.
1099s are for extra money. They're not for your primary.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you are smart about it and you are putting 40% of your paychecks to the side.
Another KFC story I got. Working at KFC Taco Bell. So I was working drive-thru this time. I was running the register and shit. And
I already quit at this point?
No, this was years before I met you.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm sitting there. I was probably like 17 at this time, and doing drive-thru. And there's this.
Was it here?
Yeah, it was here. It was here at this store.
I wonder if I ever saw you.
Probably. Well, this Native American couple comes through the drive-thru, and as soon as I open up the window, I can just smell the alcohol, and I was like, God damn. Yeah. Like, okay. Well, I give them their food, and as I give them their food, all of a sudden, he takes it and just throws it in reverse and starts backing up, stops, and then they start duking it out. Both the man and woman just start throwing punches at each other. And I'm sitting here just like, what the fuck is
happening?
I'm like, guys, come look at this shit. They come over and they're just like, what? Because the fight's already done. And then they fucking take off. And I'm like, dude, they just got into it. So we go back on the security camera to watch it. And we're just like, what the fuck? They're like, did you not notice anything? I was like, no. I mean, yeah, they had alcohol on them and shit. But like, I didn't expect that. Like, they just straight up started.
That's so crazy.
Another one was we have a 9-foot clearance through the drive-thru. So, don't know why this guy thought it would be a good idea to come through with the fucking 12-foot height. Because he knocked down our 9-foot clearance beam.
And they just kept coming?
Yeah, kept coming.
I love it.
He bent it around, and then he fucking came through and ripped the entire underside of the fucking drive-thru off. Like, we had to replace the whole fucking drive-thru in there.
Douche.
And I remember...
Was he drunk or just stupid?
No, just stupid. Because then he tried to back out and get around and all. Like, it was bad. Like, he really fucked it up. And I remember...
Was it a trailer?
Yeah, it was... I can't remember if it was a camper or something, but...
Oh, my God.
He did. He tried coming through there, and that's why the drive-thru was fucked up for so many years, is because it took him a long time to get it fixed.
I think that was too long ago for me to remember.
Oh, I do. I remember that because I was there when it happened. I was just like, what the fuck?
What were you thinking, my guy?
Man, I mean, there's I got stories at Walmart. I've got stories at fucking.
I think the guy that came through with the chopped off leg at my job recently is probably the creepiest thing I saw.
Was he carrying it in his hand?
No, he was in a wheelchair,
Mm-hmm.
and like one of his legs was gone, and it was still wrapped in bloody bandages. And I'm just like, why are you at a casino? Like,
He's like, I gotta pay off the medical bills, man.
that's exactly what I thought when I saw him. I was like, man, he's got to get those medical bills paid off. And I had one guy come in early in the morning, like showed up the same time I did at work, so 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I get there a little earlier than that. But he came in at like 7 a.m., was there for 15 minutes, and then went to the cage to cash out. And they were like, you're done already, man? And he goes like, yeah, I've been here for 15 minutes, and your machine's just $700.
Mm-hmm.
And then walked off, and I'm just like, $700. $700.
You know, it's so.
In 15 fucking minutes.
At the same casino, I have this story. I went out to El Reno, one of the bars, and our friends that do karaoke were out there. So I was like, all right. So I was out there with them all night, closed down the bar and shit. And on my way home, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to pull into the casino. Just fuck it. You were asleep, already in bed.
Oh, yeah.
So I was
I'm a
like,
sleepy eepy.
yeah, so I was like, fuck it. This is years ago, but before the COVID and all that, and they started changing their hours and shit. So
The COVID.
yeah, and I went in there, and it was. I like playing table games. I'm not a guy that likes the slots.
You don't
I really
like them
don't.
sluts. Mm-mm.
No,
No sluts for you.
I like sluts, but not slots. But so I was like, fuck it, blackjack's open. I'm gonna go over and play blackjack. And the table was almost full, except for
fucking-
the first seat by the dealer.
I love watching them. Like, I'll watch the machines right there by the tables and just watch them play. It's so cool.
And I asked him, I was like, hey guys, you cool if I sit down and play? And everybody except the other guy on the other side from where this chair is, the last guy by the dealer, he's fucking shit-faced drunk. And everybody else is like, yeah, man, you know what? You might bring us some luck. Like, go ahead and sit down. I was like, okay, cool. And I started playing. Now, I'm losing, but everybody else is winning. And even the dealer was just like, damn, he is y'all's good luck. Like, he's making me fucking bust and shit. The dealer was joking about it. This dude at the other across from me was not having it. He was pissed. He was like, "Do you not know how to fucking play this game?" Da, da, da. Like, you're a fucking moron.
He was
all this and
watching
that.
you. He was watching you lose, and so he thought he was losing.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here just like, dude, what's your fucking problem? And he's
You
like,
were making bank right now.
yeah, I was like, you're betting max bets. I think it's like $150, $200 a max bet at the table. I can't remember how much it is, but he was betting max, and he was winning. Now, granted, he's like, I'm down $1,500 and shit. I'm like, well, that's on you, dude. But right now, I see you're going up. And even the dealer, everybody at the table, even the dealer was just like, dude, you're doing okay. It's all right. Like, calm down. No, I'm about to fucking whoop this dude's ass, all this and that. And I stood up like, all right, let's fucking do this. Pit boss comes over and he's like, what's going on? Dealer explains what's happening. And pit boss is like, okay, sir, you can have your
Pit
seat.
bosses are scary.
Oh, yeah, he was like, sir, you can have your seat back. You need to get the fuck up and leave. And he was like, nah, man, fuck you. I'm here to play money. And they were like, not anymore. You need to go. And he fucking left. He was escorted out. Well, he was waiting by my bike, ready to
Oh
fight.
my
And I was
God.
like, fuck it, dude, let's go. Security was already keeping an eye on him. So
Oh
they
yeah,
came
they're
out
ready.
there.
They're ready for that shit.
They
man.
came out there and broke it up before anything could happen. But I was like,
They're
man.
like, we are not filing a fucking report. Get off the property. Yeah.
Right.
They're like, we're too old for this shit. Get off the property.
But I was just like, God damn, man, like that's fucked up. And I ended
For
up
that
winning like
shit right there,
$20. But
for that right there,
Mhm.
I found out through security at my job
Mm.
that I was like, because I work at the day shift, obviously. And I was wondering to myself, why is all the security so young? I swear half of them are younger than me. Like, I swear some of them are like 17 years old. And they're not, obviously, 'cause they can't work at a casino.
right.
But they look so young. I'm like, why are all the security guards so fucking young in the shift? Besides the one old guy that runs everybody. You know, he's like the one that comes and rescues me from all my crackheads. And then that story reminded me. So I did go to work after that and asked. I'm like, why are all the security... I asked the old guy. I feel bad for not knowing his name yet. I'm like, why are all the security guys so young during the day? And half of them are girls, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, we can't put the young ones on the night shift. I'm like, why? They're too hot-headed.
Yeah.
They want someone to fight. They want there to be a fight. And I just don't have time to fill that out. And I'm like, so all of us seniors like to work the night shift because we just get them off the property.
Yeah, just like, hey, go home, come back tomorrow, it'll be okay. You
Go
know.
take it up with the prairie dogs, man.
Yeah.
You got a complaint? Prairie dogs.
One of my favorite casino stories is like, I love when, because you've been with me several times where I'd go in and it'd be like, you know what, today's a good day to go play. Let's go have
and I just
fun.
watch. I just watch because one time, I lost $90.
Mm-hmm.
And I said never again, and I have stuck with that my whole life.
Yeah, and then you've watched me play $20 and walk out of there with more.
$400 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is why I don't ever play again. And you're like, see, it's possible. You can do it. I'm just like, you can do it.
But I'll never get over the time
can't.
that we were all on the cruise ship. Me, you, your dad, and your stepmom.
Our whole family was there.
Yeah, whole family was
those
there.
were the main characters.
Yeah, because they couldn't go into the casino that was on the cruise ship. So
yeah, we were the main characters.
Yeah, so we
them as a couple and us as a couple.
Yeah, we walked into the casino and I didn't have any fucking money, but I looked at your dad and I was just
we
like,
were fucking broke from the wedding.
yeah, it was just funny though because like I looked at your dad and I was like, I bet you I could take $20 and make it more, and he was like,
no, what was better was because I know where my curse comes from because he was complaining about the same thing.
yeah,
I can't ever do any of this stuff. And I'm just like, I know, right? I said, I know where I fucking got it. Thanks a lot, Dad. Ruined. That's when you said your thing because you knew that you had the touch.
yeah, and fucking, so I sat there and I was like, yeah, I could take 20 and make it more, and he was like, show me. I was like,
he had never seen this before, and I was like, I have, so yeah, it's a solid bet, Dad. Go ahead.
yeah, and he was like, okay, go ahead, and I was like, give me $20. All right, so he gives me $20 and we go over and play face up blackjack. It's just like blackjack, but all the cards are faced up. And I lost the first two hands, and then I won 7 blackjacks in a fucking row. And I was like, yep, I'm done.
By the way,
even the dealer was like, holy shit, I've never seen this before.
Never seen it 7 times in a row. I'm glad the camera's rolling.
Yeah, and
I gotta show somebody this later.
Because I got it up from like what, $12 to almost 500 from all the blackjacks, and I was like, because that's when I started betting higher and higher every time, and fucking as soon as I got to the 7th one, I was like, I'm done. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, seven in a row. That's the lucky number. You gotta quit right there.
Right, and your dad was like, "No, man, you're on a hot streak. Keep going, keep
going." No,
going."
that was the hot streak. 7 is the hot streak.
Even the dealer was like, "Hey, man, if he's saying he's done,
I'd
like,
cash out, man.
Be done." And I was like, "Fuck it, it's your money." So I turned around and I played it and lost every single hand afterwards. And I was like, "I told you I was done." He goes, "I can't believe it. I've never seen anybody do that before." I was like, I told you.
But you lost all my money.
Yeah.
It was $20.
Yeah,
It was
I was like-
$20, man.
I was like, "Hey, man, you know,
Yeah, because it makes you feel like you lost $500.
Yeah,
But you didn't. You just lost 20.
yeah. Well,
You gotta remind yourself that. Not me. I lost 90 of my own fucking dollars. Just drained it right there into was it a machine? Was it a machine?
I think so. I don't remember.
Just drained it.
Well-
Then never went up once. Not one time.
Well, that's like when I came to drop off your key, your spare key the other
Yes.
day.
Why did you fucking do that?
I had like $8 in my pocket, so I was like, "Fuck it." I went up, bought me a beer while I was there, and I was like, "Well, I'll just go play the rest of my few dollars in the machine
You
and
know,
fucking."
the little penny machines.
Yeah, I went over to a penny machine and fucking played, and
Those penny
first fucking
machines.
hit, I got up to $62. I was like, "Hell yeah, I could cash out now and be all right." Well, I've still got a lot of beer left, so fuck it. So I'm sitting there drinking my beer, playing, and I lost it all. But my thing is like, you and my aunt were just like, "I can't believe you fucking didn't cash out." I'm like, dude, it was $4. Like, fuck it. I was just trying to kill some time, and
Yeah, but you know what we could have done with $62?
we could have got it all in quarters and thrown it on the bed and had sex on it. Like,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
It would have been cold and crunchy.
Getting up and it's all stuck to me.
Yeah, and you've got like freaking quarter marks on your body.
Oh man, you at least got $1.75 to stick to you.
I got one stuck up my butt.
But no, I mean it was just one of those like, yeah, I could have cashed out and been happy with it, but then I was like, fuck it. But it was like the time that we went to the sister casino over in the other town on that poker run.
On the poker run, yeah.
Yeah, and fucking.
You did cash out then.
I did.
was
I
proud
did
of you.
because
Proud of
it was us with your cousin, his old lady, and
made us have
the
a
other
good time.
cousin, and then our friend that we had, and we all went in there. We got the $10 free play and all, and I was gonna cash it out, but they're like, no, you have to play it to actually get it. So I went over and I played it. Everybody lost. Everybody that played their free play lost, and then some because they added more. I hit it first time. fucking got $78. I was like, done. And I paid for my beer for the rest of the fucking day.
I was like, that made you have a good time the rest of the time you were
It
there.
did. Because it was just right after my accident, so I couldn't ride, and you were driving me around and shit, so I was like, fuck it.
And you're like, you want to go in? And I was just like, fuck no, I hate casinos. I was sit in the fucking car and wait.
Yeah, and then
so I did.
Everybody was so mad that I won, and I was like, hey, man, that's fine with me.
They were mad. They were impressed.
They were.
They were like, oh my gosh, man, I can't believe you did that. That was so cool. You lucky bastard.
But yeah, I don't know how this got from job stories to fucking
This
talking
casino
about
story.
Yeah.
That's how right there. I work at a casino.
But
Isn't that ironic?
Well, another cool story I have of winning money was my Vegas story when I went to Vegas with my uncle and shit.
So now we're just telling stories, huh?
Yeah, why not? So me and my uncle and my cousin go out to Vegas. And
I swear we've told this one, or maybe I've just heard of this.
No, you've heard it so many times. But like, we go out to Vegas. We're actually on our way to Oregon to go see more family and shit. But we were like, fuck it, we'll stop in Vegas for the night. We're done driving for the day, so fuck it. So we get this fucking cheap ass seedy motel
Such
room.
a mistake for you guys.
It was.
You were the last people in the world who need to be stopping in fucking Vegas.
It was bad. But my cousin wasn't old enough to go into the casinos, so we left him at the fucking hotel, and me and my uncle go out. We go to the.
I didn't realize he was that much younger than you.
Yeah. He's a few years younger than me, so he wasn't old enough to go in. But we go to the Riviera right before they closed down the Riviera and demolished it and shit. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the casinos I always wanted to go to and gamble at.
You got to.
Yeah, I did. Right before it got shut down, so I was very happy with that. And I walked in there, played $20 at 3 card, and walked out with $120. I was like, hell yeah, I won $100. Cool. And looked at my uncle like, well, we got some beer money. Let's go to a bar. So we go to this first bar. And we didn't pay attention. We just saw
beer, go in.
Well, we actually stopped by the strip clubs, but none of them were open because it was too early. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. None of them opened till 3. So we were like, all right.
Oh, just 1 hour early.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
So we were like, fuck it. Let's go find a bar, then we'll come back. Okay, cool. So we go to this bar, and it was called the Escape Lounge. Now, anybody that's from Vegas probably knows what this is, but we didn't, okay? So we pull up, and we see this place, and it had like a little guy behind bars as their logo and shit. Well, we get out, we go into the first set of doors. There's 2 set of doors to go in. First set, you walk in, then you have to ring a bell to go into the second set. And we were kind of like, man, I've never been to a bar like this. Like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, that has all this security. I wonder why.
Right. Well, as soon as we get buzzed in, we walk through, and my uncle gets a call from his ex-old lady and was like, hey, man, order me a beer. I'm going to go outside and talk to this bitch and see what's going on. It's like, okay. So he goes in, or I go in, he goes out, and the bartender comes up to me. Now, the only people in here is this older woman, maybe in her late 40s, and this guy that's like in his 60s, okay, and then the bartender. And it's a dark lit room, like very, very little bit of light.
Like a bar.
Yeah. And the fucking bartender comes up and he's like, so what can I get you today? And I'm like, okay, well, this is Vegas. I mean, I'm going to run into people like this, so it's not a big deal. And I was like, well, give me a Budweiser and a Coors Light. And he's like, okay. And he goes over, gets the beers, and comes back, hands them. And then he walks over to the old man, and he's just like, so-and-so, what are you going to do today? And then it fucking hit me, because the old man was just like, I've already been up and down the strip this morning, and I'm just not sure what I'm going to do tonight. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
Wait, you're both.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there, and I look down, my phone's vibrating from my uncle calling me from outside, and I'm like, huh, hey, what's up, man? Pay for those beers, let's go. Okay.
You both already knew.
Yeah, I was like, thanks, guys. And I walked out, and I was like, get in the car. And when I get in the car, and I was like, wait a minute. How the fuck do you know? He goes, look at the building again. There's a rainbow painted around the entire fucking building. And I was like, oh, God. So we ended up going to another bar down the road. We told them what happened. They were like, tourists, of course. So, yeah, that happens. And we're like, well, we were just waiting for the strip clubs to open. They're like, oh, they're open now. So we're like, okay, we gotta
wash this gay off of us and go get some titties in our faces.
Oh, no. It was just one of those like, yeah, we gotta be we gotta find some masculinity right now. Not
That's what I said. You gotta wash the gay off.
But, so we had a few beers at that bar. Then we ended up going to the Sapphire. And
that's not gay.
The Blue Sapphire or some shit like that. But it's supposed to be like the world's largest strip club. And we go in. And we're the first ones in the door. So we're like, okay.
It's probably like 258.
Right. Right. And so the lady at the front desk was like, "Hey, it's usually $50 per person." I was like, "God damn, for a cover charge? Jesus." But she was like,
They
"You
gotta
guys
make
are
that money.
Yeah, she was like, "You guys are the first ones to go, man, so go right ahead." And we're like, "Cool. Fuck
Well,
it."
that's cool.
Yeah.
First people in the door getting for free. That's cool.
Yeah, we're like, "Fuck yeah, man." I mean, we still had some casino money left, so we're like, "Fuck it, let's go."
That would have been all your casino money.
It would have. It really would have. The drinks took it all, and we got fucked up real quick. But they had like this 3-story stripper pole with decks on each one, each level.
I love this story.
And so I had this fucking my uncle was trying to hit on this girl, one of the dancers' friends that happened to be there. He's trying to fucking hook up with her, and she's like,
not having
playing. Yeah, she's playing with him, but she's not like gonna do anything.
Yeah, she's like, I can't make any money off this. So.
And this girl comes up to me. She had the nicest ass I've ever seen in a thong in my life. I was like, holy shit. Not much in the face, but
but a nice ass.
Yeah, she comes up and she's like, hey, do you want to dance and all? And I'm sitting there trying to play it cool because I'm like 22, like, yeah, you know, and fucking. She's sitting there and I was like, well, how much is it? And she goes, oh, it's $50 a dance. I was like,
I'll think about it.
Yeah, let me have a couple more drinks and I'll let you know. She's like, okay. And turns around, that's when I see her ass, and I'm like, damn, all right. So,
like, you know what? Maybe I will get a dance.
So, about an hour later, they're just now starting to kick off music. No one's really been on stage to dance or anything. And I finally was like, okay, I'm fucked up. All right, we need to go, man. So, I look at my uncle and I'm like, hey, we're out of money. We need to go. We're done. And he's like, okay. Well, as we're getting up to leave, I had maybe like $15 left, enough to buy more drinks, but I was like, nah, I don't need to do that. And then all of a sudden, music kicks, and
you're like, oh, hell yeah, per bro.
Yeah, like, well, the fucking lights dim down, and a spotlight goes up to the 3rd-story deck, and we're like, oh, shit, hold up, man, hold up, let's see this. That girl with the fucking nice ass gets up there, and she starts dancing around at the 3rd-story deck, and it's like, okay, hell yeah, ballsy. And then she gets out there on the pole and, like, moves away from the stage. And it was like, whoa, man, that's fucking scary as shit. Like, if you got fucking fear of heights, that's scary as fuck.
3-story stripper pole.
Yeah. And she fucking sits there, grabs the pole with her legs, lets go with her hands, and puts her head down towards the bottom of the floor.
Stage dive.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, dude, that's some skill right there, because I wouldn't do that shit. Fuck no. Then she fucking lets go just enough to drop. And she's fucking coming down with some speed. And before her fucking head hit the bottom stage, she fucking catches herself and stops.
Thigh catch,
yeah. And fucking just starts spinning around the pole and shit. I was like, here's the last of my money. Here's fucking $15. Earned that, man.
Jesus Christ, I think I shit myself.
Yeah, for real. I was just like,
I thought I was about to witness death.
I did, and I was like, okay, let's get out of here.
Face first into that 3rd-story fall.
Yeah. So
Jesus Christ.
We ended up going back to the hotel, picking up my cousin, and going to the MGM to eat dinner and shit. And it was a good time, but then we had to ask people for money on our way home from Oregon because we spent a lot of money. But other than that,
we accidentally stopped in Vegas. Can we have some money?
Yeah. So, but all in all, it was still a fun trip. I still got other stories about that I could talk about on another episode. But you know, it is what it is. It was a lot of fun. But honestly, guys,
I don't have anything interesting like that.
I was gonna say, if you guys have any good stories about a casino or some funny job stories that you're just like, no one will believe me, but I've got this story, please leave us a comment down below. Let us know if you want to leave us a more in-depth story and like to have it put on on our episodes. By all means, leave us.
We do have some more stories that we can say, like things that happened at work. But they're X-rated, so I don't know if we can say them on here.
Yeah, hey, we'll do a whole X-rated episode where we will have to be putting in an advisory at the beginning of the episode. But if you guys want to tell us any of those kind of stories, by all means, let us know at our email at thecallingcouplepod@gmail.com. And give us those in-depth stories, man. I'd love to hear them, love to be able to talk about them. And if you don't want them on the episode, that's fine. But we still like to hear the episodes. And if you do, let us know in the email and we'll talk about it. But please, if you guys have been enjoying our shit, give us a like, a subscribe if you want to keep up with all the new stuff coming out. And go ahead and hit that notification bell so you can be alerted for the new episodes that are going to be dropping, because we got tons more shit to talk about. And, yeah, let's go from there. But also give us a share so other people can keep our channel alive, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got anything that you want to end this episode on? We got a lot of shit to do today, so
Yeah, it's kind of all like my mind's already went over there.
yeah, it's one of those like, all right, so we bored you guys long enough.
Yes,
We're gonna get out of here and try to get back to our thing that we call life and deal with it. But you know, if you're out there, just try to live it the best you can. Don't do any harm, and don't fucking take shit from nobody either. Give them that one warning, and then just fucking kapow and fucking.
Yeah. Could call him right in the face.
Yeah, there you go. Call him right in the face. But other than that, just enjoy life and fucking suck it up, Buttercup, because I said what I said.